We are recording.
We are recording.
We are
okay.
recording.
Hey.
It's the week in Sedgefield. You said you.
Yeah, a whole week in Sedgefield.
There's the week. There's one. There's more. There's lots of days.
Yeah, so.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, to This Week in Sedgefield.
Yeah, I'm
Here
Chris.
again. And I'm Bomber.
There we go. And I believe
we're
this
still
is.
recording this.
Yes. I think this is our 94th episode.
94th.
We're 94 today.
That's super.
That's great.
Nice.
My son is 2 months old today.
Your son is 2 months old.
He's 2 months old today. How cool is that? Little
that's
Finn.
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh man.
A little Finn. We'll just feed him more, really.
Yeah. No, we're trying, but I mean that's you start to run out of clothes and things, don't you? Yeah. Well, this week we've got a few hot topics to talk about.
We do.
I think they're actually all quite controversial. So,
are they? Oh, that's good. People like controversy.
Yeah, I might get in a fist fight with you or a flip fight. A flip flop fight.
A flip flop fight.
Okay, I like flip flop fights.
Flip flop fight.
They're very funny, those flip flop fights.
Yeah.
We're going to be speaking about the DA and just kind of an appeal to government that they have, a press release that they've done and a bit of back and forth with that.
A bit of argy-bargy, yeah.
That could be the theme for this week, isn't it? Argy-bargy.
Yes.
We got Earth 5008 once again.
Oh, yeah. There's a bit of argy-bargy on that as well.
More argy-bargy. Okay, well, there's not too much argy-bargy on an absolutely fantastic fish that was caught, so we're going to be able to speak about that. We've got a national champion as well in our
Sedgefield,
midst.
yeah.
And another fantastic victory from a sporting team from Sedgefield.
But first...
tell us.
I have a story.
Okay.
So, we got a new dog.
Oh, congrats.
And my wife wanted to call it 10Ks. I said, well, why do you want to call it 10Ks?
Yeah.
She said, so I can tell people that I walked 10Ks today. And yesterday she ran over 10Ks.
Oh.
No, she didn't. It's all a lie. It was a made-up joke, but I thought it was quite funny.
Oh, that was. Oh, very, very good. I don't know if it
Just
is good.
to see the look on your face.
Oh, it just keeps on giving. It's all a bit of a joke, and I think it's all a little bit of a joke, the politics that happen in the midst of our municipality. Now, this is going to centre around. We've had a water crisis over the past several months.
Haven't we just, yeah.
And over this time, we've been able to receive a lot of reports on how much water we as Sedgefield and as Knysna Greater has been receiving. We're not alone in this, obviously. We're not even the worst off in this with regards to the water crisis. You look at some of the places along the garden route, and I think there are areas, is it Swellendam? One of those, there are a few of them that have even level 4 restrictions, and it's absolutely wild, absolutely crazy. But of course, it is an election year, or a local municipal election year.
Yes, yeah.
So the politicians are going to politic pretty hard, I suspect. And this may very well be a case of that.
Yeah. I think it definitely is. So I don't know. I'm getting the impression over the last month, and you might be as well, that things are getting better in our water situation.
Or we're getting better at ignoring it.
Maybe that's it. Well, the cars seem to be getting clean again, and the gardens are green again. So maybe people are ignoring the warnings. I don't know.
Maybe.
But we haven't had tankers going around delivering water.
Yeah.
I don't think in Knysna or Sedgefield. There just seems to be, to me, a general feel of things are getting better. Yeah. Maybe the municipality isn't pushing the please save water agenda quite so much.
Yes.
I don't know. Look, I think we still have to save water. And
we're not out of the woods. I mean, even the George dam level is at 51% or something like that. Like we're still in drought time.
Yeah, we're still in a drought, definitely.
But it does feel like it has gotten a lot better.
But the controversial thing is, so a press release came out on the 2nd of April.
Okay.
From the DA. And it basically said, Knysna DA welcomes and thanks Anton Bradell, Western Cape MEC for local government. He's the Minister of Local Government, MEC for Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning. And they're thanking him for the swift and constructive response to our recent request for additional critical interventions. So a while back, a few weeks ago, the local DA announced through a press release as well, saying, we call on Minister Anton Brodell to step in. Things aren't going well in Knysna.
Antonio,
please come.
come on.
Take this problem away from us.
It's a water.
Yeah. So this is like a follow-on press release saying, Mr. Brodell, Mr. Brodell of the DA, you stepped in and thank you, and look what a difference it's making and what have you.
Yeah.
It says this intervention is impactful to Knysna's water system. Yeah. And then it goes on to say they've procured pumps but then it says, sadly, this situation was entirely avoidable. The ANC-led Knysna municipality for 3 years failed to maintain and replace aging pump infrastructure and had no contingency plans. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so we are all grateful for the local government, for provincial government stepping in.
Yeah.
But the word on the ground that I had heard was A, that things were better, and B, that, and this is not information I got from the municipal, the councillors or the municipal people themselves, that the mayor had actually asked Anton, provincial government for assistance a while back. And there are things that are being put in place, procurement things, tenders going out for water pumps and so on. So they, so actually I sent that statement. It did sound a bit like electioneering to me.
A bit pat us on the back. Look what we've done. Which I mean, honestly, it sounds like good stuff.
Yeah, no, look,
it sounds great.
Don't take anything away from the help we got.
And
I do appreciate it. But having said that, it is provincial government's job to help local governments, municipalities.
Sure.
They are in charge of the municipalities, and it is their job to step in. So this feels a bit like the DA saying, "Oh, thank you to the DA for helping."
I see what you're saying.
The DA of Knysna thanks the DA. That's kind of how it came across. And the Knysna municipality. How can I say this?
They didn't get any shine.
There were things that were in place already, that the money from provincial government did help, but it wasn't like it wasn't like the local government, Knysna municipality, was doing nothing, and the province stepped in and solved all the problems.
Okay, so
there were things in place.
Yeah, and so what you're saying is that this press release sort of insinuates that they were the horse in shining armor.
Yes,
the
white horse,
the white horse,
the men on, something like
the white horse or the pole.
Yes,
the knight in shining armor that came in and kind of saved the day. That you're saying that's what it kind of feels
like.
That's
how it felt.
Okay,
and I think because
I could see that.
It is election year, so it said that the local government MEC Andrew Brodell and his department had overseen the procurement and installation of replacement Charlesford pumps, and that the province had procured 2 pumps and invested 2.5 million into the project. However, if you look at the municipal records, the procurement was initiated and completed through the tender process way back in February.
In February,
February. So
that's not recent, is it?
Well,
I mean, it's relatively recent.
Okay, but it was before this arrival of province to stepping in and saving the day, as it were. The statement also said that it would improve the pumping capacity and help meet the daily demand and that sort of thing. But the records show that Charlesford and Eastford works were already part of a broader plan.
Broader plan.
The works were already sort of in place. once again, a tender was issued by Knysna Municipality in February 26, which closed on 25th of February 2026.
But
so
now-
the procurement process was already... So
But was that not instigated by the, or at least helped by the DA in that part? Is that not what they're claiming? They're saying, hey, recently, or maybe kind of also just saying that over the past however long, we've reached out to province a bunch of times, and they've once again showed up to help. And is that not what they're referring to, or is that kind of different? So was this way before and they just sort of tag it onto this? I'm a bit confused.
I really think
timeline
they
is
did
difficult
come in
here.
and help.
Yeah.
But the impression that we were given by the press release was that it's chaos in Knysna. Please step in and solve the problem.
Yeah, it's like carte blanche.
Where it was, how can I put it this way? It was, the plans were already in place. The processes were going on. The municipality formally engaged the Western Cape provincial government, so through the mayor, to reconfirm and strengthen the existing 154 support process, which is going on.
Yeah, I mean, and that sounds like what municipal, how it should be running. That's all good news, honestly.
Yes,
yeah, that's great. Yeah,
and they said it remains the responsibility of the Western Cape provincial government to support Knysna municipality. This is now feedback I've got from the actual municipality.
Okay, so they're responded to this release. Okay.
Yeah, so they said they've already initiated integrated work streams to streamline the implementation of priority infrastructure projects. A lot of funding has been sent in by the infrastructure grant allocation from national government.
Okay, so if we start to steer this in a little bit of a direction and try to kind of sum up where we are on this, it feels like that press release was specifically picking at or pointing out that the ANC-led municipality has over the past 3 years not looked after infrastructure, and that's what all the cause of this of all the issues were. And that if the DA was in power, that they would solve it. Now that's the kind of general sense, and that's very very political.
And that it was the DA that came in from on the white shining armored horse,
dragon,
2 horsepower dragon,
that's
whatever, and saved the day.
So how would you have wanted that press release to read then? I mean, this is opinion stuff now. Of course,
it really is opinion stuff. I would have given it more, and I really don't blame the DA for saying this. The government, the provincial government have stepped in. Provincial government that happens to be run by the DA has stepped in. To me, it would have been more effective to say they've come in and joined the efforts, worked with our local government, and we've had good results.
And citizens as well.
Yes,
and the local,
also to
those
acknowledge
groups.
the work by the citizen movements that are being very involved with this. Acknowledge the work. I mean, quite a bit of work has been done by local government, by our local government. So a nod in that direction would have been good.
Okay.
But we do know it's a political year.
It is,
we do know elections are coming up. I also, once again, like we've said so many times, this problem isn't just 3 years old. This problem is many local governments old.
See, that's also the very interesting thing there, that they don't always attach a year or a kind of a time to how long the infrastructure failings.
They don't normally, but this time they did.
But this time they very much did, and I think it's because I've very much been on the opinion as well that this is over, like you've just said, decades or like really long periods of time.
And we've had ANC, we've had DA, we've had ANC again, we've had DA.
Flip flops between them. But I mean, 3 years of not looking after, and I don't think there's. I mean, it's hard to say that the ANC or the coalition. Let me not just pin it on the one party, because there is a coalition that's run it of a lot of parties, and maybe that's also where the biggest issue has been. But that coalition of people
Yes.
of parties,
Yeah.
has caused a lot of issues. That there is so much bureaucracy, there is so much infighting, and so
Yeah.
much politicking. And maybe this is just more of that.
Yes,
is the sense that we're kind of getting.
Yeah, I think, look, I would imagine pumps not being serviced or whatever for 3 years would make a big difference. But we've all seen its infrastructure far bigger than pumps. There's pipes and there's all sorts of things that have gone wrong. The older infrastructure. But I suppose it's an appeal from my side.
Yeah.
For some more level press releases from I didn't include that press
tough,
release
isn't it?
in my paper.
Okay.
I would have if I'd got the municipal response in time.
Yeah, and you've got that
because
now,
then
though.
I've got both sides of the story.
That's helpful, yeah.
But because it was a long weekend, so I didn't get enough time. The municipality did send through a response eventually, but we had already gone to print.
Yeah.
We have to have both sides of the story.
That's it, yeah. And that's one of the things that I'm loving the Age for. It's where on Facebook, on social media, you have these kind of knee-jerk reactions. He's just throwing in things where if it's something that's been printed, some facts or something happening, and then a response, even that response has to be well thought out. And this has been the case as we shift steadily on to Earth 5008.
Oh,
where there has been. Now, the reason that we're going to be speaking about this again, because we were deciding, hey, are we just kind of flogging this at the moment?
Flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The white shining horse.
Oh, the same horse. Oh, shame, with all that armor. Oh,
man,
we're flogging it. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's got the armor. It's
Maybe
probably
we'll get
better
a good
for
prize for it.
The glue factory. So the reason that we keep going on about this is because this serves as almost a case study, I think, for figuring out how we shape the future of Sedgefield. Listen to me go.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm going to stand
Is that
up
up to you and me, please?
Yeah. Please don't. Maybe a little bit though. But this kind of the case of there needing to be or wanting to be somebody saying, I'm doing a new development. This is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And then how we respond to that, how we engage in it.
Yeah.
Now, my feeling or my sense is that there has been a lot of not fully understanding all of the facts. Now, this is going to probably sound like I'm very much on the developer's side. Yeah. But I haven't engaged in the social media stuff. I've had a read through. I haven't seen the full response. I think you've got in the Age this week, right? Yeah. So I've read through that previously last week when we kind of spoke, and there are more responses to come. But this is a whole big one on how do we respond to developments and changes in our town. Yeah. So this is why I think it's still a good one to speak about.
Yeah. It's got to be something that we do in a level-headed way.
Yep.
Because I don't know if I mentioned last week, but I have seen responses on record in the municipality. I'm not talking about this particular development, previous developments, where a good 75% of the objections have just had not valid written next to them.
You did mention that, yeah.
Because they are made perhaps on an emotional level or on a level that's not really relevant to what the application is. And we are getting that because, look, this area is part of the much-loved area of Sedgefield, which
we
is
love this place.
The markets, though the one market is moving, and people are very emotional, and people are telling other people stuff that... So all I would like to do today
is dance.
Sorry?
You want to dance today?
I want to dance.
That's all you want to do today.
I'm going to explain this whole thing in an interpretive dance.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes and watch carefully.
Okay. Do you want to see it again?
Yes.
No. What I would like to do, will you put the link to the official municipal application document?
I'll see how I feel, yeah.
Okay, put that on the podcast
in the description. Yeah. No, we'll put it very much there.
Because I actually read through it again today.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Because we're having lots of letters to the paper and lots of people asking. A couple of people have stopped me in the streets and said, this thing's going to be great. Other people have stopped me and said, you've got to stop this at all costs.
The third kind of said, can we see that dance again?
Yes. So yeah, there's a lot of mixed emotion about it.
Yeah.
But on both sides, people have clearly not read the application.
And that I think is the key issue here.
Yeah.
Is how do we get to as close to the source as possible? This is where do we get the facts from with any given situation? And this one in particular, and I think you're absolutely right. I haven't read through that 12-page document. I've looked at the plans and a few of the things on the website.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that fully. So where I hear about they're going to have to raise the roof, where they're going to have to raise the
level
land.
of the land.
Thank you. Yeah. Where they're going to have to raise that, and that's going to change floods and everything like that. Like, I don't know. Is that in there?
You see, it's not in there. I'd also heard that, and I read through the document. There's no...
It ain't there.
I can't see anything about them raising the level of the land.
Okay.
So it's really because the reason, and I'm not saying you're going to read it and then say, okay, I'm not going to object. You might say,
what about this?
Yes.
What about this? There may be stuff in there.
That is where your objection will be ruled for or against. And also, if they ignore your objection that is relevant, or if they change the face of the development.
Yes.
So, for an example, if a developer says, we're going to build 48 20-story houses.
Yes.
I'm exaggerating, but if they do, and then they build 60 20-story houses, or maybe 60 40-story houses.
And a stable.
Which they'll close the door after the dead horse is bolted.
That's right.
If they do that, you can say, hang on, I saw in this application that you only were building 48 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what you got to arm yourself with.
That's critical.
That's your receipt from the shop, so you can go back and say, you charged me for this when I didn't get it, or so on and so forth. If you can't object about something that's not on that document.
Based on hearsay, based on kind of opinions and things like that.
But you can object for something that happens that isn't on that document.
That's right, yeah. So it's good either way.
Yeah.
Read the document if you are. I mean, of course, if you're not too perturbed by all of this and you just want to engage in discussion, that's great and everything like that. But it's the objections that slow it all down and that make it difficult for developers to make it. And again, I'm not speaking just about this specific developer, but we as a community get to give our input with regards to these kinds of developments. And this comes in with what we affectionately call the spatula plan. Right?
The spatula plan.
The spatula plan. So this is
the Spatial Development Framework Plan. Yeah.
That's it, yeah. So this is done, and over the next however many years, how Sedgefield is planned to look. If somebody wants to develop, if somebody wants to make low-cost housing or a hotel or a stable, whatever it might be, is it in there? Have we agreed to this as a community and directed the municipality to do such?
That's it. It won't mention particular developments in that spatial development framework.
But the zonings.
But it'll say, okay, the town needs to grow. We're going to make this area a business zone. And we can look at it and say, don't be ridiculous. It's in the middle of Swartfly. Or
I'll walk my dog
it's
there.
on top of the hill. Or no, we want to keep that as an open area. For example, if somebody wanted to build a block of flats or a mini golf course or whatever on the village green or on Fish Eagle Green or something, we would be saying, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But if it's on that spatial development framework and has been approved, then we're stuck.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder.
So it is. It's really important that we get involved in these sorts of things well in advance.
That's it.
Because otherwise, we're closing that fabled stable door.
That's right.
Even though the horse is bolted and like Usain Bolt.
No one needs that. No one needs a bunch of dead horses running around.
No, they don't.
And their shiny white armor. No one wants that town.
No.
We do want a town of a bunch of winners.
Nay, I say, nay.
Oh, there it is. We want a town of a bunch of winners, and I think we've got a lineup of I would say 3 big winners right now. If we can start with the big fish winner.
The big fish winner.
The big fish winner.
He did win a fish.
That's what I'm calling it a win.
Yes, because he had a long fight and he won a fish.
That's right.
We've got to shout out to Nigel Ulf.
Yeah.
Ulf. He didn't catch an elf.
No.
He caught a 9.8 kg steenbras.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
Stone brass.
Yes.
I don't know my English language. 27th of March, which was a Friday, he caught that off the beach near the river mouth.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Huge fish. It's on our back page.
Yeah.
Well, him as well.
Yes. Not just the
not
fish.
actual fish. It's a photograph. Yeah. And he caught it in the surf.
Man.
He's so chuffed.
I'm sure.
He gave me another picture of another fish that he caught a couple of weeks ago. But
not as impressive. This one is impressive.
This is over a meter long, he says. Yeah.
Which probably means
it
was about 30 centimeters.
Yeah, he held it in front, very close to the camera.
Use perspective.
No, it's a sizable fish.
It is.
Sizable
That's
fish.
Very, very impressive. I'm also particularly impressed with Devaris.
Yes. Giorgio.
That's not my name.
No, it's not. But
you're speaking about him.
Yes,
oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. I got confused.
So, young Devaris, well, not that young, but he's him and his father, Dimitri, run a construction company, Devaris Construction or something.
You see they're Bucky missioning about. They do a lot of construction around, yes.
So he's been in our paper numerous times because he's an incredible sailor. Has been from when he was a youngster. A young whippersnapper.
Always been sailing.
Anyway, he
there.
won the national champs.
Oh, amazing.
Which was held in Pine Lake Marina.
Pine Lake.
Off Pine Lake Marina.
Yeah.
Not in the marina, on the water, on Swartplay, but from Pine Lake Marina. Yeah. He won.
That's amazing.
Yes, on from the 28th of March to Monday, the 30th of March. And 21 sailors from all over South Africa took part, and he was sailing in a fin, not a weather fin.
Oh, yeah, because that's cheating.
A single sail racing dinghy, used from 1952 to 2020 as the single-handed yacht racing class at the Olympics.
Oh,
there you go. So he did very, very well.
Yeah, I would say.
Photograph of him in the paper, smiling from ear to ear with a very large trophy.
Oh, well
done. Well done.
That's not the only trophy in the Edge, is it?
No, it's not.
Because we've got the Young Boys FC.
The Young Boys FC. Yeah. FC, of course, stands for...
Fighting Chance.
Fishing chap.
Chaps.
The football club, of course.
The football club.
Yeah. They won the Easter Cup tournament.
Oh, cool. In
Knysna. So the Knysna Local Football Association.
Yeah.
Easter Cup, Easter Trophy.
Yeah.
They won it.
Nice.
Our little Sedgefield guys.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how little they are.
Well, they are young.
They're called the Young Boys FC. Yeah, Knysna over the weekend of the 4th and 5th of April, so that would be the Easter weekend. They beat the Red Eagles in 4-3 in the semi-finals, but the finals...
Eat it. Yeah?
Yeah, the finals they played Futa FC.
Oh,
V-O-O-T-A. Futa.
Yeah.
Futa FC. No goals scored in the first half.
Oh, exciting. Yeah.
Now, these guys are in a higher league than
Oh, really?
guys.
Yeah.
So it was thought that they would win. No goals scored in the first half. No goals scored in the second half.
Yeah.
Goes to extra time. No goals scored in the period in extra time.
Yeah.
And then apparently the coach had a chat with them in the change room.
Oh, yeah.
And in the second time period of extra time, so just before it went to penalties, they managed to get one in the net.
Can you imagine how stoked they were?
Quanele Sidloi, I hope I pronounced that right. Quanele Sidloi, and coach Moleli Joseph. I don't know if that's pronounced right. He was 100%. The coach, and he said, what I said in the change room, I don't know what he said. How about scoring a goal, guys?
You see there's the goal there with the ball.
That's where the ball goes. In. In, past the goalkeeper. Yeah.
It worked.
You're not going to win without putting one in the net.
Come on, guys.
Anyway, it worked. Whatever he said. Maybe he said, open your eyes now, guys. Or untie your legs. Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, they won.
They did it. That's amazing.
And they've never won before. They got to the finals in 2024.
Yeah.
But this time they won. Yeah,
Oh,
so
man,
well
that is
done,
absolutely
guys.
brilliant.
Young Boys FC.
Yeah, well done to them. That is absolutely
Absolutely.
fantastic. Very cool. Okay, so before we go,
Oh,
I just
yes.
want to encourage our listeners once again for a few things. First, to like, to subscribe,
Yes.
to share the video.
share, yes,
That's
yeah.
where we get our most listens is
Yeah.
when you guys share. It's not from us just sharing. So please
Yeah.
do, if you feel like it is helpful to those
Yeah,
who are
as
out
long
and
as you're
about.
not flogging a dead
No.
podcast.
Or a dead Steenbras.
Or a dead stem.
Or football.
Yeah, big
Any of
fishing,
those.
yeah.
Either way.
Okay.
Hey, thanks. Have a great week.
You too. It's been real.